it was almost a year ago, almost exactly a year ago, Fiona called me and asked me if I would take on the Webmaster functions. And thanks, Fiona. We spent a busy winter discussing various options, and you know, I took it on because I really thought there's a way we could lever the technology that's out there in order to make, you know, benefits for the club. So I think we've done that, and we've seen some of the stats to bear that out. It certainly was a lot of work, and once we launched on April 1st, I kind of stepped back, as most people are aware. I mean, I was pretty busy with work, and life goes on. It's riding and not computer season, so I'm re-engaging now, so we'll start to see some more changes. But it's been pretty good, and we'll show you a few more stats, so sorry about that, but let's talk about this a little bit. So first of all, we decided to go with Club Express, which we're obviously aware of, and Fiona stole my thunder on this because I did want to talk about it a little bit here. The reason we went with it and wanted to go with a system like this is because of the membership management software behind the scenes. It's very powerful. It allows us to manage all the renewals. We can track what members are interested in. Even the fact that we could do a survey on the website. I know it was floating around the board. They said, let's do SurveyMonkey. We have a built-in function right in the website for that. So it's brilliant. So we can track the membership. We can also do quick polls and that sort of thing behind the scenes. Obviously, we have the website host, which is sort of the front end of what you see of the back end, which is the member management software. And that's where we spend time building up the website as you know it. And you know, it's a work in progress. It's gotten pretty good, and there's certainly where we can improve. There's areas we can make it easier and better, and I'll continue to work on those. Communications is key. There's some of the benefits to these things, and which you've already heard about, but you know, we can direct emailings and messages out to specific groups of the membership, and as well as mass emailings, which you've been seeing from the president. And of course, it's all available online. So if it happens to go in your spam, or you delete everything from Fiona as it comes in, then you can look it up online on your own time. Fiona mentioned interests, and I'm going to talk about that again a little bit later. The blogs are on there as well. They're on the front page. There's three. There's Fiona, the ride captain, Francois, and myself, Webmaster. One out of the three of us is a lot more prolific than the other two. I don't know who it is. Fiona? So try to keep up on those. Sorry, back up here. The forums are starting to gain some traction. We sort of got rid of the Facebook sort of free flow that we had before. There's still some traffic on there, but we're trying to direct it more towards the site. Again, it's not 100%, and certainly will take time to get more traction as people get more familiar with the concept and sort of that format. But it's starting to gain some momentum, and we'll talk a little bit about that again. The calendar function is big. Obviously, we can track events, multi-day events, single-day events. Very easy to input, and very easy for people to register to RSVP, and then mark and track attendance. Like, he'll take his sheet there and just mark people who have attended. It allows us, again, to tailor what we can offer as a club. Next and next. Okay. Anybody know this guy? I have a few more stats. Now, Mark's beautiful slides are going to make mine pale in comparison. I threw this together this morning. I just got a few stats, and really just to highlight where we've come from and where we're going.
Stand up.
All right, just to let you know what you're seeing on this page, this is the website stats from 2017-2018. I just want to take a snapshot of where we were, and then I'll show you where we are in terms of, this is just pure raw website visits per month. So on the horizontal scale, it's monthly, January through December, and the vertical scale on the left is 0 to it's 400 is where it's capped here. So you can see the peaks are in the early spring is where the website got most of the hits, which is very typical, I suppose, for any motorcycle club. We're in Canada, where the season really doesn't start until sort of the April time frame. But that's it. So to give you a sense of the scale here, from 0 to 400. So we peaked out at about 375 or so. The average about 250 hits per month on the old website. I was going to put all the data together, but it really didn't look very good, and I'll show you why in a second, because when we launched April 1st, this is what happened. All the data you previously saw is now the short the teal. My wife would be so proud. Teal, orange, and brown. Okay, so the teal is 2017, orange is 2018. So the previous page's data. So I'll just pull that back again. So you can see that that data there is now been grossly squashed by the new Club Express site. So this is just pure visits to the website. So it's not necessarily unique visitors. It could be your webmaster just clicking renew, refresh, refresh, refresh to get my stats up. So that's possible. But in all fairness, you can see the development started in January, February, and then in March in earnest when I got real busy on the website. And then April 1st we launched to both public and the membership side. So the hits went up quite strongly. You can see on the vertical scale there, it's from 0 to 4,500. So I needed a logarithmic scale to properly show that if there's any mathematicians or engineers in the crowd. Yeah, so April 1st and up to almost 4,000 and peaked again in that spring sort of May time frame, almost 43 or so hundred. So it's a huge, huge increase. And obviously November, if you look at the second far right column, we're only 4 days in. This was as of this afternoon. We've already surpassed the whole month of previous. So certainly there's a lot of traffic on the website. A lot of it is public hits, and a lot of it is logged in visits as well. It's probably 50-50. I'd have to look at the numbers a little closer, but it's quite good, quite strong. In fact, people are finding the site at least, and we've done that much.
Hey, Jeff?
Yep.
Quick question about your web stats. Can you keep track of actually not just visits, but hits on where people are actually going?
Yes, I can go page by page breakdown, actually by individual too. So that is reams and reams of data which I haven't parsed, I haven't looked at. I'm not, there is a case for that this winter. I'll look and see where the main hits are. I can tell you on the previous site, and it's probably similar on this. I don't have as good a data from the old site, but I do have it. The calendar function was big on the old site, and that was just sort of, and that was really a Google Calendar embedded within that old site which I had put together. So it was kind of like they were going to the old website, hitting Google, and going to the calendar. So it's probably similar, but now the website is much more dynamic, so I'd have to drill down a little bit closer. These are boring enough without going into that, but it's very valid for this winter to start looking at it to see, where I can improve. Hey, I got nothing else to do. ART, work, pay the bills. More stats. Now, after I did this, I thought, well, it looks like that hockey stick. Like, I think we're trending here because if you look at the scale again, this is the average number of monthly visits. So 2017-18, again, around 250, 260. And now average so far, we're about 2,500. So about a tenfold increase per month.
You also double the membership of the club.
No, increased by 30%.
Multiply by 5.
But that's 30% versus a tenfold increase. It's exponential growth. So yes. And that's good. And I don't know what's driving the membership increases. It's word of mouth. It's all kinds of good things like that. But it's also, I think, people seeing that we've got this. They're landing on the site. There's a way for BMW to refer new motorcycle purchasers, like the Good Time Center, and we get a few through that as well. So.
Well, one thing you're not factoring in also is the Facebook page. A lot of people are getting a lot of information from Facebook that's not.
That's fair.
So
Yes, that's right. I think that's probably a big one for sure, because a lot of the stuff that was posted on the old Facebook sort of interface, and the Google Calendar as well. Those for those who linked it with their phone. Yeah, go ahead, Roger.
I don't know if they tell you, but it'd be interesting to see if there's any correlation to sales of BMW through the dealership. If there's an increase, even if they haven't become members yet, but they're curious. And even maybe a lag. In other words, people are thinking about buying a motorcycle and they see that there's this fantastic club and maybe they move towards the BMW brand.
Yeah, I don't know. We can actually track where, and I actually have to speak to Erica at the Good Time Center. Maybe I'll interface this winter because we can maybe put a link on their site to link to ours, because I know we link ours to theirs. So you can track where your hits are coming from. You can say, okay, what was the referring page to hit our homepage? It's a good one. We've not done that. I haven't looked at those stats yet, but again, something with all the spare. Once it starts to snow, I'll be good. I'm not done riding yet. Yeah. So the annual totals again, flat line, and then we're trending like climate change or whatever. You know, that's the hockey stick graph. Greta would be so proud. 2,700 and change annual, or 27,000. Sorry. That's what we're doing. So we're way up, obviously, tenfold increase.
Wow.
At this point, I kind of thought you'd all be asleep, so I put this up there for you. But it proves a little more interesting than I thought. So, and it is kind of fun to look at this stuff. A bit boring to present, but there you have it. That looked like my class at the Royal Military College where I went. We were in first year. We were all drooling and asleep. It was terrible. That's exactly what it was like. Yeah. So what's next? Again, most of the thunder's already been stolen, and I know it's getting a little bit late in the evening here. That depends on the club's wishes and the board's direction to me. I will present and have a list of laundry list items that I want to take care of, and I'll present those to the board along with, or I'll have some information for you if you want, along with some budget, some costings. Because some of the stuff is free because it's my time and it's just the website that we already pay for. And some stuff is, you know, there's a cost, like most things in life. Continued refinement, which I mentioned already, and I will, like Steve mentioned, I'll drill down a little bit in the website to see what pages are more popular and maybe focus on some of those and bringing some of the other ones into the more of the fore. And we'll see what the membership wants. I do plan on doing a few sort of quick web polls and stuff. We did the survey, which is a fairly extensive survey. You can also do short polls, which are very sort of yes, no, or 3 choices. They're sort of non-formal. Every member can do it at least one time only. So we could sort of have some fun with those. So I'll probably put those up. You'll see those on the homepage in the next little while. Better and continued use of the registration functions for meetings and club rides. And you can see how easy it is. You go in there, you just mark you're gonna come to the event. And if you don't come, fine, you can cancel. But it is a great way for us to track what's happening with the membership.
Jeff, I
Yep.
just have a suggestion because for me it's very easy to sign in,
Yep.
but it's more complex to remove yourself.
Well, I think I showed you how to do that, but it is,
Yes, you
yes.
have to go into your profile.
Yeah, I'm going to, I sort of made that a little easier, and that's a good thought to make it even easier, but some of that stuff is the engine behind the scenes, which I can't change. The interface, I can maybe drill that, make that easier.
What's that, sorry?
Well, Carlos was mentioning that it's easy to register, but it's hard to unregister. Say, well, I can't make the ride.
I just shoot an email off to whoever the leader
But
is.
you can actually go into your profile and do it yourself.
Oh,
So and I know we were doing that several times this summer. I got some panic emails. Can we get this guy off or get this gal on? I said, yeah, we can do it. But then I said, there's an easier way. I had to drill in. Honestly, it wasn't that easy to find. I had to go into I had to read something. I had to go into the manual to figure this out. Took a while, but we figured it out. I'll try to make it easier going forward because you're right. It was one of those. But you have to go through your member profile at the end of the day. But a good point. Possible introduction of the credit card processing ability. And again, it's really a budget thing more than it is because people want to do it, right? I think that was clear from the survey. But will we do it? Depends on how much it costs. Can we afford it? And what's the cost going to be for the club going forward? I have a pretty good idea now, and I'll be giving a complete breakdown to the board for their meeting next weekend. Yep.
Can we still pay with cash?
No, cash is no good anymore. Yeah, you can give it all to me, and you're good. Yes, I mean, I'm sure we'll still be able to use. I mean, why not? Use e-transfer. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, no problem at all. In fact, it's better for us because we save the few percentage points, right? I mean, but for the convenience, some people don't like the e-transfer, some do. But we want to offer it, and I think we'll have to look at it closer. I mean, ART is a big expense, right? Maybe doing credit card for that. I mean, that again, the fees for that, it's roughly, 3% of the amount that you're putting on your card that somebody has to cover. Either we force that onto the purchaser or we absorb it in the cost. So again, it's something we have to look at, bigger picture. So, I mean, I can envision a scenario where we just do it for membership renewals for now, see how that goes, right? And look forward to see what else we want to cover.
If you
But
absorb it, your little $6,000 could disappear pretty quick.
well, you could say, well, it's part of our operating cost for ART, so we increase the cost by 3%. I don't know. I mean, we're running really close to even anyway, so it's not a huge amount of money. Yeah. So it's not a huge amount. So if you account for the accounting and whatnot, I think what did we say per year? 7,000, I think, for the So it'd be an extra $1,000 to run the website, just to have the ability, and then it's 3% per transaction, roughly. So anyway, those numbers we'll look at for the board. There's one here that's been, people have asked about, the development of a mobile app. You're saying yes. Now, you can access the website from your phone or tablet or whatever device you use on the internet, and it looks a little different. You can switch it to desktop mode if you want to with a little button at the bottom. But the website app, the mobile app, if we develop it, again, there's a cost to it. It's not large, but there is a cost to it. Plus some of my time, not that much. Then you could download an app and you can have access to all the website plus the app, which is a little bit of a different look. And what the neat feature that it has, well, first of all, there's a cost for the setup. It's roughly $100 US. And then there's a cost per download, a couple of bucks. And we could absorb that. It's cheaper, or if the member pays, it's a little bit more because Google takes their cut or Apple takes their cut, and there's the middlemen. But we'll have to see. I'll give the board that option. What neat thing it brings, though, is it could bring to us, if we so desire, is this chat function. So it's similar to the Facebook sort of thing. You could fling a message out to all the members. That's available on the app. So you could send a quick video or a quick picture or a quick whatever just to everybody, or if you're on the ride leader committee, then you could just send it out to the ride leaders, just a quick chat, or the board of directors, or whatever committee I could set up so that only those people would receive those messages. And that would be available both on your phone, on the app, as well as on the website. So you could kind of Facebook-esque, we're all scroll monkeys now, right? We want to scroll all day long. Well, that's what this would bring us if we decided to go with it. So it's kind of compelling for that reason, if for no other. But we'll see. I know Rabbi's a fan. I'm a fan, but those men are. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm a fan because the messaging functionality, I think,
It's huge.
is really huge, especially if we're out on the ride and
Oh, yeah.
if we're able to message each other or send a few pictures back and forth.
Oh, yeah. And for those who aren't on the ride, you know what? I know the forum is good, but it's more of a static. It's not as sort of quick and easy to get in there and throw a message out to the club, a fun message. Facebook was great for that. We don't really have that. With this app or this capability, we would be able to have that. It'd be kind of fun, but we'll look at it. The board has to make the call. It's not my money. It's our money. So it's not that much, but. So what do we need from you now? So obviously continued support in terms of input, really, is what we want. I need to know what is working, what is not working. Some have reached out to me over the past 7 months since we launched, which is great, and more is better. I can't always get to it right away because I'm not available, but it definitely goes on the agenda or something I'll look at and try to get back to you when I can. But specifically, and Fiona mentioned this again, she stole my thunder from earlier. We need you to go into your member profiles, if you haven't already, and to do it again, to update certain things. And one of them is probably first and foremost, number one, emergency contact info. So when you go in there, there's in your member profile, contact info, you scroll down, there's an emergency contact slot to fill that out. So if the unforeseen happens, it's in my line of work, you plan for the worst, you hope for the best, right? You want to make sure if something happens, we can reach your next of kin or whoever you want to be contacted. The ride leader, we print out lists of these before the rides with everybody who says they're going to attend, which is great if the unforeseen happens. So go in there and have that updated all the time. Next one, interests. Now, again, member profile, member interests. So my profile, member interests. Why is that important? Because for those who are interested in GS rides, and I agree, I disagree with the stats a little bit. They're somewhat misleading because I think those who have GSs, and the GS rides were well attended, by and large. I'm getting one next year, maybe. So I think if you go in your member interests and you deselect that option, I am not interested in GS rides, for example, then you won't get the emailings about those that are specifically targeted to that group. So it allows us to sort of know, gee, there's 50 people that are interested in these things, right? So go in there and do that. Your current ride, if you want to mention, once again, if you've bought a new bike or whatever you're riding, what's your daily ride, or the main bike you pull out of the garage when you go, make sure that's up to date. Again, it helps us with the data. before. I got only 5 things. And I have a little reminder sheets for everybody if you want. I did print those off, but I have to pull them. Profile photos. Many have got their profile photos in there, which is great for the membership directory, and it's kind of nice for we can see who you are. But there's 2. There's one for your membership profile, okay, and that is on, again, my profile. The other one is your forum profile. It's a separate photo, and for some reason the system won't automatically make the forum profile picture the same. You have to go in and separately set it. You can make it the same photo, no problem. But make it something fun. To make your members profile photo one that we can recognize you with, ideally. And your forum one, make it something something for fun, a cartoon, whatever you want. If you want and you don't know how to do it, just come to me. I'll take a picture tonight, and I'll write your name down, and I'll make sure I'll get it up there for you. Yeah. I'll make sure I get the right picture up there. Forums preferences. This will help you with working the forums and getting notified when there are messages on the forums. And some don't want any emails, and I get that, so fine. But you can go into your My Profile General Forum Preferences, and you can select how often you want to be updated. There's a selection there. You can be updated instantly when somebody makes a post. It comes through your email. Now, that's probably a bit much for some, but you could do a daily summary, a weekly summary. I do a daily summary on all the forums so I can see what's going on there. So you can opt for that, so we're going to do it. Those are the 5 things we'd like you to do. If you can do that in the next little while, that would be great, and we'll keep harping on that. Now, that's my email address, or you can call me, or you can, whatever. You can send me a message. Go on the forum. I just opened up a new how-to forum, speaking of forums. I'm going to start moving all the how-to stuff on there. So if you don't know how to do something, go on there and ask a question. Just straight up put a question in there, and I'll get to it when I can. Or email me, or call me. Are there any questions?
FaceTime you?
FaceTime me.
All right.
Yeah. We have Wi-Fi in the planes now. Just for weather, though. They don't let us surf the net all the time. Any questions? Nope. We're good. I have little sheets with those 5 items that are on there. And on those little sheets that I printed out, there's probably not enough for everybody, but almost, it tells you where to go to get that information. And over the next month or so, I'm going to put, or over the winter, I'll put more and more of these little how-to video screen recordings up there, so you'll see those.
35 minutes?
35 minutes each. No, 3 to 5. I had some longer ones. I cut them out, so they're a maximum of 5 minutes. That's my target. So if something a little more complex, it'll be up to 5 minutes. That's all I have. Thank you for your time.